The cake knife was still in my hand when she suddenly stood up. Her voice sliced through the laughter like shattered glass. "My son," she announced, lifting the child as if he were some precious royal heir, "is not just mine. He's your husband's son." The room froze. Even the baby stopped fussing, as if he could feel the betrayal hanging in the air. Then she delivered the second blow. "And as his inheritance, I'll be taking half of your $800,000 house." She waved a folder like she'd just won a prize. "It's all in his will." I just stared at her. My sister, my own blood claiming pieces of my life, while my husband's body was barely cold in the ground. I pressed my lips together, swallowing the laugh that threatened to escape, because she had absolutely no idea what she'd stepped into. I met my husband when I was 22. To me, he was steady, strong, a man who made forever sound real. He looked at me like I was something rare. I married him because I believed every word he said. And my sister was always there, hovering, smiling a little too brightly at him. I thought it was just her personality. She'd always chased attention like she needed it to breathe. But family forgives. So I ignored the looks between them, the shared laughs that lingered too long, the sudden quiet when I walked into a room. Trust is a blindfold you tie yourself. It began with small signs. Late nights, his shirt smelling faintly of perfume that wasn't mine, his locked phone, his averted eyes. One night, he came home messy, sweating, flustered. I said nothing. Watching speaks louder than asking. And then came the message. My sister slipped careless, or maybe too confident. I saw it on his phone. "Next time, don't forget your necklace." She almost saw it. The necklace? The same one I saw glittering on her neck at our mother's birthday dinner. My heart cracked, yes, but I didn't cry or scream. I just smiled because that was the night everything shifted. That was the night I stopped being naive and started planning. Some women fall apart when they find out they've been betrayed. I sharpened. I slowed down. I became deliberate. Every word I said to him, every polite smile I gave her, became another thread in the trap I was quietly weaving. I met with lawyers quietly, carefully. I learned things he never imagined I knew, the offshore account, the debts, and the revised will he signed without reading. The one I slipped into the stack of papers with a soft kiss and a sweet distraction. Yes, I had drafted it with my lawyer. He never noticed. That will didn't give her anything. It tied everything, every asset, every cent directly to me, ironclad, unbreakable. I let him think he was clever. I let her think she was winning. That's the delicious part of revenge, the quiet before the blow lands. When he died suddenly of a heart attack, I wore black, my face carved from stone, my body moving through the motions like I was on autopilot. People whispered about how strong I was. Meanwhile, she cried louder than anyone, clutching her child like a stage prop, acting like a grieving lover instead of the sister she pretended to be. Anyone else might have believed her performance, but not me. Standing at the graveside, watching her sob, I realized something clear as daylight. Grief looks very different when greed is mixed in. So here we were, my husband buried 6 feet under, and my sister flaunting his child like a golden ticket. The whole room waited for me to fall apart. They expected screaming, tears, something dramatic. Instead, I leaned back in my chair and said softly, "Oh, I see." And I smiled. Because I was the only one who knew the disaster waiting for her. 2 weeks later, she filed her claim, waving the will at her lawyer, demanding half of everything. Her lawyer read it once, then again, and his face drained of color. "This isn't what you think," he said quietly, because the will she clutched was nothing but a decoy, a draft she was never meant to have. The real, notarized will was locked away, perfectly signed, properly witnessed, and painfully clear. Everything belonged to me. Every dollar, every inch of that house. Her lawyer explained it gently, almost like talking to a child. Her hands shook with every word. She accused me of lying, of tricking her, of forging documents. I just sat there, calm, legs crossed, and said, "You should be careful about what you announce in public. People might start asking why your son looks so much like my dead husband." Her face crumpled. And that was the second layer of my plan. Not just winning legally, ruining her socially. Word spread fast. Friends, family, neighbors, no one looked at her the same way anymore. Invitations stopped coming. Even her child's birthday photos became gossip material, whispered about like scandal magazines. She wasn't the proud mother she pretended to be. She became the woman who slept with her sister's husband and tore her own family apart. One night she came to me, eyes swollen, hands shaking. She begged, "Please don't do this. He's still my son. Don't destroy us." I looked at her, the sister who once braided my hair, who once shared secrets with me, and I felt nothing. "You did this to yourself," I said quietly. My voice didn't rise. It didn't shake. It was steady, final.